Happy Monday. This is Justin Prime. I'm a slightly overweight, severely balding, 37-year-old man with braces. I've got it all. Welcome to the Jprimecast, where I look back at my creative week and take stock of what went right and what went wrong. This is episode 22. Welcome to the Jprimecast. You may have heard I cracked open a can. This is De La Costa Sangria. I'm drinking a can of sangria. This is wonderful. 11% alcohol. I'm very excited right now to be alone in my office drinking 11% alcohol. It's going to be a wild night. I went to San Jose with my family just to visit some relatives and celebrate my nanny's 98th birthday. I think she's 98, 97, 98, one of those two. And afterwards, we were in San Jose and went to Campbell, California. If you are local, you might know. It's a very yuppie, douchey, hipster kind of place. Everything's very expensive. And my wife was on the hunt for this sangria in a can that she had tried earlier that day. So we got that. And it's expensive can of sangria. But it's good. It's good. 11%, you pay for it. Who am I talking to today? Let's take a look. I should have this ready, but I don't. All right. Last person in my feed is Bryce Lennox. Bryce, he's 18. All right, it's not a kid. Ooh, Bryce has got some really cool 3D sculpts, it looks like here. Nice. He's got a great, what is this? This is the Sean Galloway Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man from the series, the animated series. He did a 3D model of that. Looks really cool. Great job, dude. Thank you for popping up to my newsfeed. Keep up the artwork. Your PS4 Spider-Man looks pretty sweet also. Yeah, dude. That's great. If there's one thing I'm certain of, it's, oh, no, that can't be right. That's his bio. Funny stuff. All right. I need to learn 3D. I'd love to learn that at some point. Not going to happen soon, but maybe someday. Announcements. Give me a rating on iTunes. Tell me how much you enjoy hearing about what I'm drinking and that I'm drinking on the air. You know, it's funny. I did eliminate swearing from my show so that kids could listen to it. But I seem to be drinking every Sunday night, which is not terribly kid-friendly. So, I don't know. I guess I'm in kind of a bind here. And I'm not going to give up the drinking. I enjoy it. It's relaxing on Sunday night. I love it. I've thought about bringing the swearing back, but for now it's not. For all those reasons that I talked about in the past. Moving on. Announcements. Killer Wolf is going on Comic Central. It's been a little bit of interest in the forum. And my son is terrible at haircuts. Good God. Saturday morning, I took him to get a haircut. It was a nightmare. He screamed and cried the entire time. It was so traumatic. I seriously think I was traumatizing him. I've been learning about trauma at work a lot recently, the past couple weeks during the summer here. I've been doing a lot of listening to trauma lectures. And one of the things about trauma that we've learned is that it lives inside the body. And what's really traumatizing it is the event of whatever happens to the person. But what's really traumatic is not being able to run from it or fight against it. So people that are stuck or trapped, that can't run, that's what is the most traumatic, is when you're stuck. So my son was getting the haircut, and for him, it was a life or death thing. He was screaming like he was going to get killed. He was screaming for his mother, who was not there. His mom was somewhere else. And he was screaming, "Mommy, Mommy." And there I am, pinning him, holding him to my chest. He couldn't move because I was. I know this is horrible. This is horrible. And I teach a parenting class too, so this is really bad. But I was determined to get the damn haircut. So he may have been traumatized from a haircut because he couldn't run, he couldn't fight against me, and he was stuck while he perceived his life ending. So the haircut was bad enough, but then he also, when the hair falls on him and on his clothes, he freaks out. And then it's like itchy. He freaks out about that. But he refuses to wear the cape thing, I don't know what you call it. We call it a cape. To block the hair from getting on you. So he just makes it worse for himself. So anyhow, yeah, I may have traumatized him from the haircut. So what I did was we came home, the barber, the stylist, or haircutter, I don't know. She wouldn't even finish the haircut because she said it's not safe. She said it's not safe. She didn't want to cut around his ears. And I was like, yeah, I understand. Fine. So we got home. I gave him a bath. I brought him downstairs and I told him, I'm going to finish cutting your hair. Stay still. And he was freaked out, but he knew I wasn't playing around. I didn't have to hold him. I didn't pin him. I just said, don't move. And I let him touch the scissors. I let him I showed him that they were cold. I promised him no owies over and over again. And eventually I was able to snip at, his hair and trim his ears behind his ear on the side, his ears. What's really kind of sad was I promised him no owies, no owies, no owies. And he said, don't cut my ears. And I was like, I'm not going to cut your ears. And then on the first snip, it like ripped out some, it pulled some of his hair out. So I broke my no owies promise. So I definitely let him, betrayed him there. Someday I'll look back on that and laugh. I guess I already am. That horrible, horrible experience. Every time I take him, it gets worse. So this was the worst one yet. All right, moving on. Let's do a little quick discussion here. I feel like I have to come clean about something to myself and to you. I've talked a lot. I've been thinking about this for a while. I've talked a lot. I don't know, maybe not a lot, but I've mentioned that follower count is not important, specifically on Instagram, but really anywhere. Follower count is not important. I've said this numerous times, probably, and I believe that on some level. What's important is the engagement with your followers. But in all honesty, I want a high following. It matters to me personally. It does. It's an ego thing, but it does. Wow, I can really feel this 11% right here. I'm a lightweight. When it comes to drinking, I'm a lightweight. Yeah, so it matters to me. Like I want more followers. I want to have a higher follower count. So it's purely an ego thing, and I thought I'd kind of shed that and let that go, but I haven't. It feels good to know that I've collected this, a large amount of followers. I finally surpassed 9,000 this week. Made some big moves, and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean more people are interested in AstroPig or that I'm going to make more sales or whatever. It's not about that. I'm not even selling anything. It's purely for me to know that I've surpassed 9,000 and that I'm on the way to 10,000. So like on a subjective level, it matters to me. It does. And I feel like I have to be truthful about that. It does. It's almost purely an ego thing on some level. But on another level, it's not. Because it just makes sense. The more people you have following you, the more potential eyeballs you have on your artwork. And I know when you post something, it's not in chronological order anymore. Not everyone's going to see it. I think only 10% see it within the first hour. But, if I have 90,000 followers, that's a lot. 10% of that, which is 9,000, I think. That's a lot more than 10% of 9,000, which is what, 900? I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just making that up. So the more followers you have, the more potential eyeballs you have on it. Like, it does matter. It does. And I think when we say that follower count doesn't matter, that's just to make ourselves feel better on some level. Like, I'm sorry, guys. That's what I think now. And I think on some level I've been tricking myself and telling myself, no, it's okay. It's okay. That I don't have a bigger following. I know 9,000 is a pretty good chunk compared to probably a lot of people that are listening. But I want more. I want more eyeballs on my artwork. Like, I just do. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at. I'm owning it. I'm being honest, and I'm being open about my self-awareness. That's where I'm at. So sorry if I betrayed you, but that's where I'm at. But it makes sense, right? More eyeballs, more 10% of a bigger number is more people. Makes sense. So more. Sorry, I'm having trouble here following my own thoughts. More followers means more eyeballs. Obviously, that's what it's about. And that also means there's a higher chance of someone seeing it that would eventually become interested in Astropig or whatever else I'm working on. Right? That just makes sense. I might pull in people for Venom, and I did that this week a lot. But those people might be like, hey, what else is he working on? And, that's what happened. I had a whole bunch of new followers this week. I think a couple hundred because of my Venom artwork. And those people went through my gallery and liked a whole bunch of stuff. So they were introduced to Astropig and Killer Wolf and whatever else. So, like, it just makes sense, right? So I'm bringing people in with fan art. And I don't think I've spoken down about that. I don't know. I think I've just accepted that that's okay. And I genuinely enjoy drawing Venom, so I'm not being fake about it. But, I'm pulling people in with fan art. And I'm hoping that they would be into Astropig also. If they're just into my fan art, fine. Because I like to do Venom. I like to draw Venom a lot. So if they're following me for that reason, I don't blame them. Fine, I can roll with that. But hopefully along the way they'll check out Astropig. Hopefully these new people will be dads and they'll connect with me on that level, or they'll be independent creators and they'll connect with me on that level. But I'm bringing them in with Venom. It is what it is. There's a really good example of this same idea. There's a YouTube account called the Alex Becker channel, I think, or Alex Becker channel, something like that. And I found Alex Becker by looking up reviews of Star Wars Episode 8, which was horrible, and I want you to know that. I was looking up reviews of that, and I watched a few videos, and then I saw his thing. I watched that, and the first couple of videos I watched of his were just he was going off on Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and what a bad job she's done, and he's hysterical. Like, I relate to him on the sort of, like, I don't know, guy, high school, idiotic kind of level. He just he cracks me up. And after I watched a couple of his videos, in like the third video, he mentioned that he has a couple or a few multi-million-dollar businesses. And I just so happened to be interested in that kind of thing and like building my brand and stuff like that. So he pulled me in with Star Wars, and he knows what he's doing. He's passionate about Star Wars. He's pulling people in through the Star Wars controversy, but it's real because he's into it. And that's how he got me. And then all of a sudden I hear, oh, he likes something else that I like, and he's doing it at a high level. So that opened me up to watching more of his videos, which were about that. And today I listened to one of those, and it was all right. He's no Gary Vee, but he's interesting. But I have a personal connection with him about how bad Star Wars is now. And the business thing, because I like to learn about that stuff, even though I'm not really pushing that. So he pulled me in with one thing and brought me somewhere else. And that's, he really brought me to another passion of his, and that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing people in with Venom, and I'm bringing them over to a passion of mine. And I've looked down on that for a while, and like, you know, it is what it is. Like they're both passions of mine. Like I can own that. That's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of there, you know. Sorry, Brendan's DMing me here. I don't know why I'm looking in the middle of the podcast. Probably because of the 11% alcohol. Sorry. Moving on. So yeah, I mean, and then also the 10,000 followers, that on a practical level, that unlocks the ability to have the swipe up feature in stories, and that's something that I could really make use of for Killer Wolf, for my website, for the podcast. These could be that one feature that I haven't been able to get to, or haven't gotten to, is going to be a big upgrade for my social media game. So that's, you know, that in and of itself is a big reason to basically keep drawing Venom. Besides the fact that I like to do it, that's going to help me get to that 10,000 mark, and I want to get there. Yeah, so all kinds of good reasons. Plus, yeah, it's an ego thing. It is fine. Yeah. Oh, and then also, sorry, another reason. When it comes to ranking, when people do search for hashtags, like I talked about last week, where you rank in the hashtag searches as far as the popular ones, or the top, I think it's like the top post for that specific hashtag, that's entirely dependent upon how you're performing in whatever post you use that hashtag on. So more followers equals more 10% exposed to it, which equals, if you did your job, more hearts and more comments, which equals higher posting in searches. So it just makes sense, like having a bigger following, and I'm going to take that more seriously now. So just being honest with myself and my ego, yeah, and the practical implications of having more followers. It just makes sense. So that was a little side thing. Thanks for listening. Let's move on here. My major goals are to get Astropig published. I want Astropig mugs to drink my coffee from. Mugs. I want a 06 on the mug, and I want to drink my coffee out of there. I want Astropig plushies, backpacks, everything. Second goal, community building. Third goal is mentorship. I have my new mentee lined up. He's excited. I'm excited. Don't want to say anything in case it falls through, but I think it'll be fine. That's coming up in a few weeks. Brendan and I are wrapping up. I just talked to Brendan tonight. Not for I recorded it without his permission. Don't tell him anything. I don't think he'll be listening to this anyways, because he's an ass. Is ass a bad word? No, my kids have heard that in movies. It's okay. Don't tell Brendan, but I recorded our conversation tonight, and I don't have his permission to publish it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. We'll find out. So yeah, there you go. All right, personal artist inventory challenge. My projects, number 1, you know it, is Astropig. Number 2 is community building. Let's talk about the obstacles. For Astropig, none. There were no obstacles. I got enough time on it this week, plenty. I really maximized my time, except for last night. I was playing Minecraft. I rewarded myself. It had been a very long day, a very crummy Saturday. The traffic between Stockton and San Jose, for some reason, has gone way up this past year. I don't get it. Going into San Jose now is like going into LA. I don't get it. Why are people doing that on Sunday afternoon? They weren't all going there for Nani's 98th birthday, I'll tell you that. So obstacles for Astropig, none. That's a good thing. I am very happy with Astropig's development this week. Number 2, obstacles for community building, None. Very happy with community building this week. Very happy. So we're moving on to successes. Oh man, this sangria is good. I think this podcast has a different feel to it. No? Yeah? Let me know. Successes. I'm just entertaining myself at this point. Astropig. Oh, Astropig is going to be going to Singapore. He is going to be going to Singapore very soon. Today he spent some time with me in Color Lab and C. Deddington, which I'll talk about in a minute. But he'll be going to Singapore next. Oh man, this sangria. I'm going to slow down on this. Whew. He's going there next, and I got some beautiful photos. Can't wait to show those. Astropig success. I got 3 pages done. 3 pages done this week. Knocked them out. One of them is a double-page spread, or I guess 2 of them are a double-page spread, and one more. Killed it this week. Killed it. I think part of that is because I knew what I wanted on each page, and I just executed it. And I knew it was the same color spreads. It was I have my formula down. I know what my layers are. I know what they're set at. It was just kind of like a machine. Honestly, it's just a machine this week. It was like I knew what I wanted. I busted it out. I colored it in, and didn't mess around. I knew my layers. I didn't mess around with any of that, experimentation stuff on that level. It was just boom, 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 boom. So that was cool. That was good. And I've started to move on to the next page. I got about, I got like half of it done on the next page. Yeah, I killed it this week. Damn. I've completed half of the next page, and the other half I've sketched out, but I'm not 100% on the pose. I kind of want to do some research on that pose and to get it a little bit more solidified. It looks a little awkward right now. I'm not happy with it. But yeah, man, this week Astropig just nailed it. Very happy. Very excited. Successes with community building. Did I? Yeah, I had some success. Did I? Absolutely. Let me tell you about it. No, number 1, I got to meet a fellow artist in person. This is someone I've admired for quite a while. I used to follow him. I don't follow him anymore because I unfollowed everybody, but he's an incredible artist. His name is C. Deddington. Chris. I'm not sure what his last name is. I'm going to guess Deddington, but I don't know. You need to be following C. Deddington. I'll post it in the description, or I'll link him. Very, very talented artist. Can't say enough good things about him. Good guy too. Got to spend a few hours with him today. And with Color Lab, he is staying with another just phenomenal artist named Color Lab, and they make quite a team. They've done a number of prints together that are phenomenal, just beautiful. So he's staying with him for a few days, coming here from Michigan, which is just super cool. His wife tried to surprise him, I guess, and send him out here, basically. Just shipped him out here to California to stay with Color Lab. And it was cool. It was cool to meet someone I admire on that artistic level. That was really cool. It was, community building in a very literal, like in-person, one-on-one kind of way. That was awesome. And then number 2, community building. I did this thing. I drew a Venom. I think it was this week. I drew a Venom pencil, right? And was it this week? I think it was this week. I've lost track of time here. I posted it, I'll say earlier in the week. I'll look it up while I'm talking here. July 14th. Oh, that was last week. I'm sorry. So this started last week. I posted a Venom pencil last week, just a bust. And the focus here for me was on his neck and shoulder anatomy. The neck anatomy is quite a challenge. It took me forever just, looking and drawing, looking at references. I mean, that was quite a challenge. but I feel better. And anyhow, so I posted this and I said, hey, if somebody wants to color, let me know. A bunch of people replied, and about 6 people, I think 6 people have posted their colorings of that. So that's really cool. So they all posted it to their Instagram peoples, and 10% of their followers, all of those accounts saw. So big win for me, and the people who colored it seemed to enjoy it. Big win for them on that level. They were very happy about that. I colored it as well, and it was this week where I didn't share it to my account. This was I was just doing kind of like a nice thing. 6 days, this was 6 days ago. I posted to my account that if you want to see my version of it, you have to go to MCG_Venom. And it's MCG Venom. This dude, I know it's a guy now. MCG Venom has been so unbelievably supportive of me and my Venom artwork, and I feel like I owe him, because I've gotten so many followers from him posting to his massive account. It's like 200,000 people following him. So 10% of that is I think 20. Damn, that's crazy. 20,000. His 10% is bigger than all of my followers combined. That's crazy. Like, think about that, So he's posted my artwork many times, and I wanted to give him something that was just for him, which I did, and he never posted it. That was a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if he realized that maybe I need to hit him about that. But basically, I redid it. I did a brand new Venom just for him, and he posted that, and I got, like, between that and the 6 people that reposted, or the 6 people that colored and posted what they did, I got a couple hundred followers this week alone. Like, that's pretty darn good, right? That's amazing. That's great. So, being able to connect with one of those big accounts in a really positive, mutually beneficial way, because I gave him that artwork. It was just for him to share, to have the first sharing of it. And if other Venom accounts might repost it or whatever, which would be cool. But I know that meant a lot to him, and it absolutely meant, everything he's done meant a lot to me. So I wanted him to know that. So I DM'd him all that nice and fluffy stuff there. So one of the 6 accounts, I'm sorry. So to add on to all this, like, that's good enough, right? Just ecstatic about that. But one of the 6 accounts is that I reposted my artwork is a very big account. It's on top of MCG Venom. So one of those 6 was K Petchak Art, and I'll, of course, link to him. Not that he needs it, but he's a very, very talented artist. Great colorist. I don't know. And I was surprised, because he's not wanting for artwork. Like, he's solid. But he saw it, and he volunteered to color it, and then shared it. Like, he was on it. Like, within a day or two, he was posting it already. And he has like 20,000 followers. So 10% of that is 2,000, I think. That's incredible. So that plus MCG Venom plus the 5 other accounts, amazing, right? And then on top of all that Venom piece that K Petchak Art did was reposted by Symbiotic Venom, another account, only a few hundred followers, but that's cool. Like, that person, whoever's running that, we've talked a little bit. That's another Venom account that's good, and I expect will grow, that I'm already in good with. So that's all good things. That's amazing. It's that huge win. And it all came from me just wanting to do right for MCG Venom, just as a way to show how appreciative I am. Like, a big win, right? From trying to be as kind as I can. And I saw the opportunity. I posted the pencils, and I saw an opportunity to say, hey, if you guys want to color this, let me know. So it just worked out really well. And based on that, to add to all this, I added a new page to my website, which is called, I think it's called Collaboration, where I have other penciled things that if people want to color them, they can download it and color it. No one's taken me up on that yet, but it's there. And I'm glad it is. I think there's a value in that, in just posting pencil artwork and saying, if you want practice to ink or color or whatever, let me know. I'll email it to you, or just go to my website and download it. So right away, I got a new email if I ever wanted. I wouldn't use it, honestly. I wouldn't use it. But I've connected with someone through email. I've connected with them in a different way. Or they're going to my website to download something that I'm giving to them. Like, that's win-win-win, right? Just from being kind and, putting it out there. So just huge win for me personally, and I think for everyone that's partook in it, because everyone seemed really appreciative and had. Sorry, I keep reading text while I'm talking. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, big wins, and I got a really cool brand new page on my website for it. I'm still on the successes for community building, by the way. The next one is Killer Wolf. There's been a little bit of action on the forum at Comic Central for Killer Wolf. Someone posted their Killer Wolf fan art, which was really cool. Damn, I wish I had their name on me. I'm sorry, guys. I'd like to be able to shout that person out, and I've messed everything up. And there was another person who asked a question. I answered it on the forum, and then found that person on Instagram and said, hey, I answered it. I want to make sure, do you have any other questions? Let me know. So I, with that extra mile, to make sure that they got what they needed. Just being kind, and because for me, I want them to participate, and hopefully they will. So a little bit of action on Killer Wolf, and we'll have a little bit more this week that's coming up later on. Stay tuned. The rest, later on in the podcast, you'll hear more about that. And what else this week for community building successes? I shared all 6 of those, what do we call it? The Venom colors that people did. I shared all those in my stories. And I just said, I tagged the person, right? Just, if you're going to color something of mine, I want to be able to shout you out. I might put those in my gallery as well. I'm not sure how I want to do that. And I think I'll have more come in. So I'm not sure. But for now, they're in stories. And then I had all these new followers, right? And these people went through my gallery and liked a whole bunch of stuff. So every time I saw my news feed get filled up with, one person, I snapshotted it and then put it in my stories and said, thanks for the love at whoever. And, people looking through my stories probably don't care about that, but I want that person that gave me all those hearts, I want them to know that meant a lot to me. So it was more for them than anybody else. And that happened a lot this week. There was a lot of hearts being given out, which was just so cool for me. That was great. And one last community building success that I can think of right now, or that is on my outline at least, is I made another new page, or I finalized another new page on my website for new followers. It's basically a welcome page that says what my projects are, Astro Pig and Killer Wolf, and what my goal is, which is to add to the artistic community. So it's a very quick intro to new followers. So when someone gives me a follow, I DM them, which I've been doing for quite a while, just DMing them saying, hey, thanks for the follow. But now I do thanks for the follow, and then I'll link them to that page, that welcome page, which kind of felt dirty to me. Like I'm trying to get them I'm saying hi and trying to get you to my website right away. It felt a little bit, I don't know, shady to me, like a little spammy, and it kind of is, but it's the welcome page is there for a reason. I want them to know who I am, and so I'm doing it, and I got good feedback or two about it. I don't think people mind it. I don't think so. So there you go. Lots of wins, man. This week was it was wins. It was good. a lot of winning this week, and man, it's hard to keep that going. Is it hard? I don't know. Actually, that's what she said. There you go. It's not hard. It might be a challenge to keep that pace going because I'm not going to keep drawing Venom every week. I'm not. I'm just not. I think it's time to take a little break from Venom again and get back to Astro Pig, keep working on that. So I think this week was special because everything clicked. It worked. And I got the benefit of more followers, really good interactions with people. Oh, I also posted, people like to leave their opinions. People like to say their opinions, right? So I've been doing that with Star Wars. I did that, a couple of weeks ago. This week, the trailers for Aquaman came out and some other DC movie and the DC Titans trailer, which just looks pathetically bad. So all I did was post that and say it looked pretty bad, And I got a bunch of comments and people, a couple of people were kind of arguing a little bit. But that kind of stuff is good for follower interaction and building relationships. And also, obviously it's good for search results. So it's an easy way to get engagement. And it's an easy way to show a little bit more of a personal side of yourself besides the artwork. So I've done that with Star Wars. I did that with Titans. I'm not even going to watch the show, but I had an opinion, so I put it out there, and people had their own opinions. So it's just creating dialogue. It creates dialogue, and it's a very easy way. Take a screenshot of the trailer, post it, and say, "Hey, this looks like poop to me," or "Looks great. What do you think?" That's an easy way to get some interaction, as long as you're genuine. And I was being genuine. It looks stupid to me, and I wanted people to know that. Just like I want you to know how bad episode 8 is. It's awful. It's god awful. It's just objectively bad. Goals for the week. I don't have any. It's Astro Pig. It's Astro Pig. I'm not going to be replicating the Venom action this week. It would be cool to have. It would be really cool for me to do pencils on maybe another character that people could get into. I think people like that Frozone head sketch I did a lot. That might be cool. So no concrete plan to do something in that area, but if I see an opportunity to do some pencil work and post it for people to color, Hellboy would be a really good thing. People love Hellboy. That might be worth taking 20 minutes or so to do some pencil work for that. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's a concrete goal, but that would be a good breather. Yeah. Yeah. So the goal for the week is the same. It's just I'm going to keep knocking out Astro Pig pages. Man, I feel it. I'm feeling like I'm getting there. I'm getting close. It feels. I know I'm not as close as I feel, but I feel like I'm right there. And I'm hungry. I'm hungry to finish the darn thing. Who's following me? Oh my God, I didn't plan this out whatsoever. Oops. Usually I have all this outlined and ready to rock. And I do not. So I'm looking through my... I don't know who I've said in the past. You know what? I'm going to skip this. No, I'm not. Brennan Spiel. 14-year-old artist. Oh, that's cool. Brennan Spiel. This person has been in my newsfeed quite a lot on both Astropig and the Art of Justin Prime. Brennan, you only have one picture, dude, that you posted 3 days ago. He turned 14 3 days ago. Happy birthday, Brennan. You got to post more artwork, dude. That's really cool, man. For your age, that's really cool. Good job, dude. Yeah. Thank you for being such a great follower. And for all your interactions, happy birthday. That worked out well. There you go. Last week's Lab 5 weekly challenge. What was it? Last week, the hashtag thing. Oh, so here we go. All right. I'll try and keep this brief. This could go on for a little bit. I'm going to keep it brief. Last week was to do some hashtag stuff. Basically, I tried what my method that I talked about last week. Listen to last week's podcast toward the end if you want to know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's to use hashtags that have less interaction or less usages. But yeah, less usages. Yeah. So don't use the hashtags that have a couple million uses already. So hashtag sketch probably has a lot of uses already. But hashtag sketch underscore pencil, I don't know I'm making it up. I don't know. That probably doesn't have a couple million. So use that one because you will get drowned out in the recent posts. And if you have a small account, you will not appear in the top posts. So I made an effort to use those smaller hashtags. And what I noticed was I popped up in the top posts, which is good, obviously. And I stayed in the top posts for like a day or so, which is, I haven't checked recently. But there were a couple of hashtags where I had like 3 things in the top post. Like that's really good, right? But it's because I used the smaller hashtags. So and right now I'm looking to see if I'm still there, and I'm not. Yeah, it's been too long. So that method worked out as far as remaining in those hashtags. And even though less people might look up those hashtags, which I'm not even sure about, I don't know how many people actually look them up, but I'm assuming less. Those people, if you pop up in the top post, are going to see you. So that's but they won't see you if you just use hashtag sketch. They're not going to find you at all. You'll be drowned out unless they're going to go way deep in there. So that worked out really well. That worked out really well for me. I had, I had a few things posting in the top posts for the same hashtag. So that worked out really well. I will continue to do that. I'm actually making a list of hashtags that I should be targeting. So I'm getting a little more, I don't know, whatever about it. So yeah, let's find out what this week's Lab 5 weekly challenge is.
What's up, Jprimecast? It's Luke here again, and welcome back to the Lab 5 weekly challenge. This week, Killer Wolf Week. As you know, if you're listening to the Jprimecast, Justin has submitted a script for a comic or book, or whichever it wants to be made into, for a project called Killer Wolf, and he's given it to Comic Central. Those guys need some content if this to be successful. They've got 12 months for submissions. They're going to put it together. So what better community to lead the charge than the Jprimecast community? So Killer Wolf, concept, character art, story adjustments, draw a page, do whatever. But content is the key to get involvement from outside. So let's get on it this week and see what we can deliver. Remember, tag Comic Central, tag Jprimecast, make sure the people involved see what they need to see. That's it. Rip in.
Luke, this is great, man. Thank you for the idea. I've really been wanting to pitch in on Killer Wolf since it's my idea, my script. Well, not mine anymore. I gave it up. It's not mine anymore. But I feel like I've abandoned Killer Wolf. So this gives me a great reason to jump back in and do whatever. So great idea, dude. Thank you. Definitely a challenge accepted there. That's it. That's the episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Welcome. I want to say welcome to Don Meatball, to the Jprimecast community. Very talented artist. Please check out Don Meatball. If you're listening still, you definitely belong in the Jprimecast community. We're a small group of artists that are pushing each other in growth using the Discord app. We are welcoming other artists that are driven to grow, can take feedback, and are active in the community. Hit me up through DM or email justinprime@yahoo.com. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. This wraps up episode 22. Peace.
I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime.